In my 40 years as a mortgage professional here in New York State, one thing is something that people don't realize and recognize, and that is very important. It's got to do with when do I lock in my interest rate. In most of the country, in fact, 49 and a half states in the country, you close on a real estate transaction in 30 days or less. And so your contract says I will close on or before a certain date. And that's set in cement and you have to close. And lenders close loans in everywhere but downstate New York in less than 30 days or 30 days at the most. But here in New York, things are slower. We invented the New York Minute, but we also invented the New York real estate transaction, which is a lot longer than the rest of the world. So in New York, your contract will probably say closing will take place not on or before a certain date, but on or about a certain date. And that about, ask your attorney, fuzzily means, give or take a month, one way or the other, we'll get close. So if you have a contract and it says you're going to close on April 15th, you think you're going to close on April 15th, but no, it's on or about April 15th. So if it's May 15th, that's fine. When it comes to locking in your interest rate, that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you are, like as I record this, is January 31st. So if you have a contract that says you're going to close on or about April 15th, and you need to start a mortgage application right away, and you do, then to lock in your interest rate on January 31st, you would have to cover yourself through at least May 15th. And so what is that? February, March, April, and half of May. That's 3.5 months. So you'd need to do maybe a 120-day lock-in on your interest rate. A, that's hard to come by. B, if you can come by it, it's going to be expensive. So what most people do or should do is don't lock in an application if you're buying in downstate New York. If you're buying in the rest of the country, it's a different world. In downstate New York, take a look at that contract, add 30 days at least to that closing date that's in the contract, assume Murphy's Law, I'm going to close at that time, and let me count backwards to make sure that I can cover myself with my lock-in period. Most of my clients lock in for 60 days. A lot of people will offer you a 30-day lock-in or a 15-day lock-in, but you can't close in that period of time. Even 60 days in New York is a very quick closing, believe it or not. I don't know why. I do know why, but I'm not going to tell you why. And so that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter what you think the consumer price index is going to do. Doesn't matter what the price of oil is doing. The first thing to take into account is when am I really pessimistically going to close. No matter what the seller said, no matter what everybody else says, assume you're going to close 30 days past whatever your contract says. Cover yourself with that rate. If you're dealing with a loan officer from outside the area, they don't know what I'm telling you. And so they may tell you to lock an application. It's perfectly fine. It's not, because if you don't close within your lock-in period, then you run the risk of having to pay extension fees to keep the rate that you locked in at, and that can be very expensive. So let me know what you think about this video. Please put a comment down below. My name is Dom Cetera. I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator, have been in the business, as I said, for 40 years, and I'd be happy to help you if you have any questions. Thanks. And any ideas for future videos. Bye.